Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Gina Dingman, and I'm part of the agent education team over at Quote Wizard. We are really excited because we have two of our elite agent reps here to share the knowledge they've gathered through years and years of working with our highest performing agents. I'm sure you all know that selling leads is a lot different than working a referral. And these two educate agents with multiple agencies and really large staff. So they have a lot of experience and expertise. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But I personally have worked with both Donna and Mike over the last few years, and I can say that they are great experience and good resources for you all. So I see how much firsthand, how much they care and really want to support agencies. So whenever you two are ready, you can take it away.
Hey, Yazman, thank you, Gina. All right, so my name is Donna, and kind of just gonna talk about why agents fail with leads. I'm the BD manager at Elite East, and my colleague Mike is out in the South. So, welcome everyone. So today's training webinar: why agents fail with internet leads and how to fix it fast. Over the next 45 minutes, we're going to share some of the strategies used by elite performing agents who consistently convert internet leads into loyal clients and closings. The session is designed to give you practical systems, scripts, and mindset shifts you can start using immediately. All right, so today's goal is simple, right? It's to help you improve lead conversion and create a stronger client experience. We'll walk through the biggest mistakes agents make with online leads, how elite agents respond differently, and proven methods for follow-up and objection handling. All right, the goal is to leave with scripts, systems, and confidence. A couple of things that we're going to cover here. Understand why internet leads fail, right? And this can be kind of tough. And we'll go over why they fail and what we can do to help you improve your chances of success with them. Learn elite lead response systems, master objection handling, build reputable follow-up strategy, and improve conversion and client satisfaction. Just a little background here about me and Mike. So again, my name is Don Abdulaziz. Since 2015, I've helped Quote Wizard agents grow through lead strategy, industry insights, and personalized support. By helping agents improve lead conversion, optimize their sales process, and adapt to changing market conditions. And that's always changing, right? I played a role in helping insurance professionals build stronger pipelines, increase revenue, and achieve long-term success. Mike?
Yeah, Donna beat me by about 6 months. I've also been with the company since the end of 2015, so we're both pushing about 10 years. I work with the South, so a lot of the Florida, Georgia agents, shout out to you guys. But yeah, we're here to help. We want to answer questions. I know the lead industry has changed a lot over the last few years. Leads seem more expensive. They don't work as well. All leads are the same. All leads are bad. We hear this kind of stuff every day. But really, we want to zero in on the top 10% of it, top 1% agents. How are they doing it and how are they doing so well? So we'll kind of dive into that. But thank you. Back to you, Donna.
Yep. All right. So the reality of internet leads, right? Internet leads are fundamentally different from referral business, right? Referral businesses, it's somebody that you know, family, friends. Those prospects are often, early in the process. These prospects are early in the process. The internet leads, talking to multiple agents, still gathering information. Many agents misjudge them too quickly and give up on them, which is it's a long-term game, right? You got to consistently work the internet leads to be successful. The agents who understand that patience and consistency matter more than instant results. They're not going to always just close one call close, right? Internet leads need a little bit of work. So internet leads are often distracted, comparing options and speaking with multiple agents. They're getting bombarded by agents once they fill out that quote, right? So you got to make sure that you're unique and you build curiosity and you kind of help the agent out. You're trying to help them figure out buying insurance can be a little stressful. So most leads convert through consistent follow-up, not a single conversation. So the follow-up process needs to be worked on if you guys are not finding success in what you're doing right now. Speed and consistency often outperform experience alone, right? It's the follow-up game that's going to help you become successful. Top agents treat every lead as a start of a new relationship, right? As a start of a relationship, not just a transaction. Like I said, they need help. These people need help. You need to protect their assets, their auto, their home, and they're trusting you to do that. So why do agents fail, right? Some agents try hard, they'll do it for a couple months or a couple weeks, and they don't find success. So here are some of the things that you can change in your office to find success. Most internet lead failures are process failures. Agents either wait too long to respond, fail to follow up consistently, or rely too heavily on memory instead of just systems as well too. Another major issue is focusing on leads that seem ready today instead of building long-term opportunities. So let's go over these. The slow response time. Delayed follow-up gives competitors time to connect with delayed follow-ups gives competitors time to connect with and influence the buyer. So you don't want your competitor to call them first. Call early. You want to be the first one. When that lead comes in, you want to call them right away. Talking too much. Failing to understand the buyer needs makes it harder to build trust and provide value. Your goal, again, is to help the consumer. They need your help, and you got to be trustworthy in helping them instead of trying to close that deal right away. Poor objection handling. Unaddressed concerns can quickly stall momentum and end conversation. Not understand the consumer's needs, right? Again, they're trusting you to help them out. No structured follow-up plan. Without structured plan, opportunities often slip through the cracks. Agents need to hold their team accountable for their follow-up. See how many times are they calling? Are they texting? Are they emailing? That's the way to become successful. Focusing on ready now leads. So ignoring long-term prospects leaves future opportunities untapped. It's a long game. You got to work them consistently. Someone that you talk to today might remember you a couple months from now and be like, you know what? I talked to so-and-so at this agency. They're pretty nice. They understand my situation. I wasn't ready then. They might call back. So not every lead is going to close right away. Just know that if you do it correctly from the beginning, that they will call you back. Lack of CRM discipline. This is a big one. Incomplete records lead to missed follow-ups and consistent customer experiences. So having CRM systems, just not leads going to an email, you're not going to find success with that. You got to use different CRM systems that's going to make your process efficient, smooth, and where your team members can work them correctly. So this is one of the most important things that I always tell agents as well too, is speed to lead matters, right? So research consistently shows that speed matters. For example, like according to studies from MIT and Harvard, contacting a lead within minutes dramatically increases the likelihood of engagement. Consumers often work with the first professional and who respond with value and confidence. So win with speed, right? High performing teams use fast response times to engage prospects before competitors have a chance. Slow response is the number one killer why agents fail, right? If you don't call within 15 minutes, conversion drops significantly. If you don't call within an hour, many prospects have already spoken to competitors, right? You're just kind of throwing away money at that point. 24 hours, the opportunity is most likely gone. So speed is a number one killer on why agents are not successful in converting leads. So building trust. A prompt follow-up demonstrates professionalism and reassures buyers that they're in good hands. Build trust fast. You want to build trust fast. Yep, you want to build trust fast. Be first to help. Buyers frequently move forward with the first agent who provides value and answers their questions. So you're there to help them. And 5 minutes matters. Most of my agents, like I said, call the leads within the first minute to 5 minutes. So once that comes in, you want to make sure that you call them right away. Elite mindset versus the old mindset. So elite agents think differently because of labeling leads as bad or unmotivated. They focus on building relationships over time. They consistently understand that every conversion is a chance to create trust, right? Given up too early, the old mindset, this lead isn't serious, I'll call later. The common pattern, they just call once. They leave a voicemail. They send one email and they mark it as a bad lead. That's not how you do it. The elite mindset is a little bit different. Every lead deserves value, consistently compounds, follow-up builds trust. So many internet leads require 6 to 12 call attempts, multiple texts, right? Several emails, follow up over days or weeks. Top producers understand that persistence often beats lead quality. Consumers that's what they want. They want to be contacted. They want to be emailed, texted as well too. So the elite lead process. So the elite team is elite agents buy a higher number of leads from us. They spend a lot more. So they have to be successful. Otherwise, they're just going to be throwing away a lot of money. So the framework for this is for the top firms that they use, right? It's not about being flashy. It's about creating a process that works consistently. Immediate response, personalization, and setting clear steps for the foundation. Many agents don't track attempts, don't segment leads, don't schedule follow-ups. So number one, immediate response. Two, personalized conversations, ask discovery questions, expectation settings, add value quickly, and schedule the next step, right? Follow up, be like, hey, when would be a good time to call you back? And just follow up consistently. Win your first conversations. Best opening questions. What concerns do you have about the market? What does the ideal move look like for you? What prompted your search today? So the first conversation is not about pitching yourself. It's about discovery. Great agents ask thoughtful questions, actively listen, and create comfort. And just people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. So successful agents sound conversational, create curiosity, focus on helping rather than selling. So for example, consumers don't buy insurance because they love insurance, right? They're not going to open a can of beer and be like, oh, I'm so excited to call an insurance agent to get an auto and a home quote. They buy insurance because lower costs, better coverage, simplicity, right? You're protecting them, you're helping them. So they need someone that they can trust. All right, lead response scripts. This is an example of what you could say that's not going to be too aggressive, but it's going to make them feel comfortable. So for example, scripts are powerful because they create confidence and consistency. The key is sounding natural, not robotic, using scripts as a guide while still adapting to the personality and the need of the lead. So for example, I received your request for insurance information, wanted to reach out personally. I'd love to learn a little bit about your situation, see if we can help you find the right coverage at a competitive rate. What kind of coverage are you looking for? And just ask one simple question. Don't ask multiple questions. That's going to confuse the consumer. So text strategy is really successful, especially nowadays. I don't know if you guys' offices use them, but I highly recommend it. Respond quickly, keep messages short, ask one question at a time, use conversational language, include a clear next step. So for example, hi, this is Alex with Elite. I saw your inquiry about renters insurance in Charlotte. Are you currently renting? So texting is one of the highest performing communication channels for internet leads. Keep your messages short and conversational. Avoid sending paragraphs. No one's going to read that. The goal is to engage in dialogue, not overwhelm the lead, right? So for example, an example here, I was reviewing your quote request and found few options that might lower your insurance cost. When would be a good time to call today? So easy to look at. The consumer might be at work, driving in a family, with family, and they might just respond back, hey, give me a call back after 5. It's a great way to get their attention and schedule a call. So going back to the lead response scripts, emails should deliver quick value and make it easy for clients to respond. Personalized subject lines and concise messaging outperform generic templates. Your email should answer one question. So why should this person continue talking to me? So subject lines, be relevant, create curiosity, make them think, ooh, why is this sounds intriguing as a consumer? I should talk to this agent. Focus on customers' needs, keep it short. Avoid spam triggers, all caps, emojis. This is not Instagram. This is someone that's looking to protect their auto, their home. Avoid spam phrases as well too. And in the body, you should personalize the message, lead with value, keep it brief and scannable, right? So for example, there's different kind of shoppers as well too. People that, when you buy leads, it could be price shopping. It can be someone that's just looking. So for example, if someone's price shopping, you should have a different script. If someone's just looking, you should have a different script. So price shopping customer, for example, I understand you're comparing rates. Most people I speak with are looking for a better price, but they also want to make sure they're not giving up important coverage. So it's going to be important for the customer. Let me ask you a few questions so I can see where we can help. And you can do a transition question such as, what's most important to you right now? Lowering your monthly payments, better coverage, or both? And then, for example, for I'm just looking prospect, that's perfectly fine. Most of the people I start out the same way. My goal isn't to pressure you into making a decision today. It's simply to provide information so you can make the best choice when you're ready. That's when they'll remember you and they'll be like, hey, I remember talking to Donna. I'm going to give them a call back. Would it be okay if I ask you a few questions to point you to the right direction? So that makes it easy and simple. All right, Mike.
All right. Hang on one second. All right, so this is kind of the objection framework. So I was just thinking about something Donna was saying. One of the big things I just want, like a lot of people, when they get a lead, they call it right away. People don't pick up. A lot of times, if they don't recognize the number, even if they did just ask for a quote, they'll still let it go to voicemail just because they don't recognize it. So that's certainly something to think about. And then you hit them with a text, hit them with the email. But yeah, so just be ready for that too. So as far as objection framework, you come up with an objection anytime you call somebody. That means the customer is still considering the decision. You guys have to remember something big here. This is the key. You talk about insurance all day, every day. A lot of people that are calling you in or becoming a lead, they probably think about this kind of thing once a year. So this is your chance to shine, be the expert in the conversation, and you can inform them like, hey, this is what we can do. And some people know their stuff, and you can dive right into numbers and how it works and talk about umbrella policies. And some people you have to kind of hold their hand, slow it down. Remember, this may be their first conversation about insurance. So acknowledge the fact that, hey, that's a fair question. I know you're not ready to go right now, but what do you need clarification on? How can we help you? Okay. Second part there, ask questions to uncover the real objection. Like, tell me more about what's giving you pause. Like, why aren't you ready to go on this today? You're asking for car insurance. You got the car. When is your X date? When do we need to get this moving? And then, of course, address it. Provide the information they need in the context that directly calms them. That's the holding the hands. That's the service part of it. That's the finesse that you guys have to have. Many customers felt the same way until they compared coverage and pricing side by side. They all see the commercials. They all see what is on in between games and in between shows. So they see the big red and the big blue ads. So they kind of have an idea of what they're all about. But once they learn numbers and actually get a quote side by side, now they can make an informed decision. So that's important. And then, of course, confirm in advance, keep the conversation moving along. Some people, they just want to talk to you. They're going to talk to you all day. And you're like, come on, let's get to a point here. Are we going to make this happen or not? But just confirm their concern, address it, and then guide the conversation to the next step. Want to get this done. Okay, it's on the 15th. You're going to have a lapse in coverage. Let's get you started so we can get that done on that date and that time. And I'll follow up, a couple days before that day so we can get everything done there. I'll go to the next one there. So a common objection, of course, you guys probably run into is I'm just looking. You totally understand most buyers start there. The role is simply to get you to stay informed. So when the timing is right, you're ahead of the game. So part of the consistency here is what you guys do when you follow up with a lead. You want to make sure you're doing the same exact thing with every single lead. So start to finish. What do you do on day one? Maybe it's 3 calls, 1 text, and 1 email. Okay, then on day 2, you're hitting them with 2 calls and 1 email. On day 3, maybe it's a text message or 1 call, something like that. But whatever you have, keep it uniform. You don't want to have a lead that you call 10 times because you think it's a hot lead, and then another lead that you think was not too serious. You call it once, and then you never follow up with them. So these are kinds of things that you'll see with if you don't have systems in place and you don't stay with it. So sorry, getting a little sidetracked here. Go to the next one there, Donna. I'm not ready yet. This could be a 2-week thing. This could be a 6-month thing. Hey, I'm going to be buying a house in December, but I wanted to just get some home quotes now. No problem at all. Many people plan months in advance. What would you need for you to happen to feel ready? So this is just an example of how you can kind of talk them down off a ledge if they're reluctant or if they're just way out. And then key here, follow up. If they say call me in 3 months, call them in 3 months. Don't skip it. Don't, oh, I forgot about that. And then hit them 6 months later and they're like, who is this? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that kind of thing. So follow up with the plan, stick to the plan, and that'll work. Done, and go to the next one. Yeah. Oh, I already have an agent. Of course. Do you guys run into this? I'm sure this happens every day. Of course, you can respect it, but if you can add value or if you can be more present or more personal to that person, you can win that business. I mean, you know how quickly people sign up policies and then they jump ship. So same goes the other way in reverse. So if anything changes for you or you need a second quote or hey, when you get a declaration page from a different insurer, bring it to me. I can at least review it with you, go over it, and maybe I can beat it. If I can't beat it, I'll, encourage you that you made the right decision. So that's another way to kind of build trust and add value and a value prop for you and possible future business, kind of that long-term relationship goals.
And I'll kind of add to that, Mike. If someone's, inquiring and they already say they have an agent, there's meat on the bones there, right? They wouldn't be inquiring if they weren't interested. So you just got to follow up and make sure you provide them something that the agent is not. So
yeah, happy to be a resource. I love that. That's perfect. We kind of talked about the follow-up system, best practices, call, voicemail, text, email the customer. You want to kind of shotgun approach it on the day one as fast as possible. But you definitely want to you don't want to call them 10 times in 1 hour, like call them and then maybe wait 2 hours and then call back or wait 3 hours, whatever works for you. Talk to your team, talk to fellow agents. Maybe you have a mentor or a coach that you're using. Find out what they're doing and then make that plan. And then once you have a plan, stick to it. That's important. Like days 2 to 7, make 1 touch point per day. So you can hit them in the morning with an email. And then the next day, maybe try the afternoon with a text. They could be working, they could have kids, they could have, who knows? They could be into a juggling unicycle group that they meet on every weekday that you just can't get a hold of them. But there will be times where you catch them and they do want to talk to you. And then weeks 2 to 4, there's a lot of meat here. I know a lot of times if they don't sign up on day 1, people lose hope or lose interest, but just hit them like every other day for that week 2, week 3, week 4. And then long term, if they ended up going with somebody else or they ended up ghosting you, just drop them a text message every 3 months or every 6 months. Hey, you were interested in leads back in March. Haven't heard from you. Just wanted to see if now might be a good time to get something going. You can strike up the conversation that way for sure. But really, as I said, stay consistent, make a plan and stick to the plan. That's kind of the message I'm preaching here. So we'll go to the next one here. So CRM and automation. I'm sure a lot of you are using CRMs. It seems to be Lead Manager, Ricochet, Agency Zoom, Agent MVP. There's a lot of them out there. If you can customize that to what works for you, do it. A lot of these programs are super flexible and you can make it as intense or as relaxed as you want it to be, but just kind of make it what works for you guys. Use reminders for both yourself and for your team. Make sure that the follow-ups are happening. The famous trust but verify. You want to make sure, are we touching these? Are we getting 2 or 3 calls out, that first day or not? If they're not, you want to make sure coaching can happen with the team to make sure that happens. Another thing is just track the conversions. Celebrate those successes. Like when you get a winner and they Hey, we got a lead and we wrote 3 policies off it. Like, good job. Like, let's track that and let's keep going. Let's build on that. Those are good building blocks. And then you can even share that with the team if you're doing daily or weekly meetings. You can automate outreach these days with AI and with systems. It can automate. They send an email, you automatically reply, hit them with an email, or you can do it with a text. But you can have it where your team is making those touches where it doesn't have to take up more time or more effort on their behalf. So if you can automate, do it. This next one, I tell you, it makes all the difference in the world when you personalize the follow-up. Yeah, somebody asking about double or triple dialing. If you have that capability and your team can handle it, that could certainly help in this case. If you're getting leads in bulk or you're buying a lot of leads and they come in at the same time, um, yeah, that could certainly help. When you add a personalized follow-up, hey, I remember your kid had a soccer game or a baseball tournament or a trip to France, whatever it may be. Oh, they went to a World Cup game. How was that? Remember those things. Have little notes in the contact card or in the opportunity or however you guys track it. But if you can mention something about, oh, how's your 3-month-old baby? How's your wife doing? Like things like that. Just if you can personalize it, and even if you touch on one single note of like oh my gosh, they remember me. They didn't just call 500 dials that day and I'm just a number to them. They remember that conversation. So that's the way for you to kind of help yourself stand out. And then of course, review your pipeline. You're staying on top of it daily and weekly. Sometimes you got to look at the big picture and say, hey, look where we've come in the past month. Look where we've come the last quarter. We've got a great opportunity here because these were kind of falling short on, or these ones are working, but these other ones are not. Maybe let's go back to call these leads that we haven't touched for a little while. So kind of review the pipeline and identify any opportunities that you might be missing or anything that's fallen through the cracks. So things you can do to help yourself get that, you don't want a leaky bucket. Go to the next one, Donna. How do top agents build trust? Um, when somebody's really good at something, they almost make it look easy. It's almost, it can be infuriating if you're struggling with something and you watch somebody just walk in and say 2 sentences and they've got the room eating out of their hand. I see this at conferences at times. But if you can educate and not pressure people, essentially they're going to come to you. If they're submitting a lead, if you shop online and you're like, hey, I want to talk to somebody about this program, whatever it may be, you might get 3 or 4 phone calls all at the same time right now. And that can be stressful and you're going to be kind of on defense. And if 3 of them are pushing and one of them is kind of like, okay, I want to educate you, not going to pressure you, give me a call. Hey, call me in an hour. Like talk to this other person, get a hold of me, and then we can walk you through it without all this pressure. Something like that is just going to stand out. If everybody's doing one thing, you got to kind of zig when they zag, or the opposite. Share your experiences, share your insights. I mean, you guys talk about insurance, insurance inside and out. Again, the people you're talking to maybe don't. So if you can give it to them in a digestible fashion, it will help them see it, understand it, and then, of course, now they know you a little bit. If you share those little anecdotes, they'll be able to move forward with you if they like you, or if you give them the best value, or even if you tell them, hey, I'm a little more expensive, but I think my coverage is better, they might even still go with you then if that's important to them. So again, deliver the value, offer your value propositions whenever you are able, and you can make it digestible to them, make it simple. But of course, you want to earn that trust. I mean, the whole sales 101 is kind of get them to say yes a few times before you give them the hard, do you want to sign this deal or not? Do you want to commit for a year with me, or sign on the dotted line? But just get them nodding their head, get them to understand where you're coming from and how, in fact, you are helping them, as a lot of you agents like to do. Know your market. This is big. Whenever we build orders with agents, we get a lot of agents that are trying to reinvent the wheel, or I only take leads between these hours and these days, and I only want these zip codes because this is my special sauce. And it's important to know that stuff. So get into the nitty gritty, dive into the numbers, figure out what works for you, and then if we can go after it. We've done a lot of weird, customized, lead ideas that people want to do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if you try 2 or 3 different things, if you have an idea, talk to one of us or talk to a lead company that can usually help you achieve whatever your vision might be to zig when other agents are zagging, so to speak. You want to be responsive and efficient. Don't do things just to do things. Don't waste time, and have that follow through and be consistent. that kind of goes back to my have a plan and stick to it. When things are going well or when things are not going well, just keep going. Just keep going with that. And if you say you're going to do something, do it. Do what you say. Keep promises. If you say call me in a week, call me in a month, do that. Again, I've so many times I'll tell somebody, hey, I'm interested in this thing, but now's not a good time. Call me in 30 days, and I may never hear from them again. So I know how that feels. If you can follow through with it, do it. Earn customers, life approach. Yeah. Earn customers for life. I like that. Donna, you can go to the next one. So the metrics that matter, I mean, a lot of people put heavier emphasis on one over the other, but of course we've covered response time. If you get a lead, call it quick. Contact rate, the percentage of leads that you successfully speak to. Not every lead is going to be a good one. You're going to get some that don't want to talk. You're going to get some that aren't interested. It does happen. It's kind of a bummer and a sad reality of it, but we deal with it every day. And we just know that, for every 100 leads out there, there's a few that are bogus, but there are going to be ones that are good. So you got to kind of go in it with a positive attitude and say, like, this is going to be a good lead. Kind of talk yourself up before you dial, or well, it does help. But the contact rate, know how many, if you call, you're getting through to, and how many you're not. How many book an appointment, that appointment rate, keep track of that. And then conversion rate, this is the big one everyone asks about. They want to know, hey, what's your closing rate? What's your conversion rate? How many leads are you getting? Does it take you to write, 100 policies for the or for the week or for whatever the goals are that you're shooting for? And that percentage of leads that become a customer. Again, consistency and follow-up and pipeline health. You want to make sure that bucket's not leaking. You're keeping track of it, and you are following through with your team and following up with coaches and mentors. If you're running into problems, they can help you. They've probably done this before, or they've had the same issue and they've found a way to fix it that maybe they don't talk about all the time. So again, ask for help if needed to do that. But you can go to the next one, Donna. So you can always do role play exercises if you want to kind of practice this. These can feel a little weird and kind of, I guess you can call it like uncomfortable at first. But if you're doing these once a week, it'll actually be fun for your team, and you can make it a good education lesson for everybody. So, we're probably 6 months away. You might run into that. Our goals, you want to build that rapport so they're going to remember you. Ask those discovery questions, find out what makes that person tick, and find out what they're actually shopping for and what would make the difference to them. And then always, when you end a phone call, both parties should know what's happening next. You might have a great conversation and you don't realize, oh, they want me to call in a week or a month, or they want me to call tomorrow at 3. Hey, this all sounds great. When would you like to follow up, or when should I touch base with you if I haven't heard from you? That's one that I use a lot. It's like, hey, you tell me. I'm going to follow up with you, and we're going to get this thing done one way or another. I know you guys are probably like, well, Mike, you're not an insurance agent. You don't own an agency, so you don't know kind of the hardships and the troubles we go through. And frankly, that's true. But you have to understand, my job is to hunt down some of the most successful insurance agents in the country. And if you think getting them on the phone is easy, you're mistaken. Our follow-up game has to be tight. Our emails, our text messages, we got to get them on the phone. And yeah, they've got gatekeepers and they've got other people that are like, he's busy, he's in a meeting, he can't take your call right now. We know. I know how hard it is to get people on the phone. I'm not trying to say that I understand the whole insurance game, but I do know that it's not easy to do what we all do, tracking people down and picking them up and getting them on the phone. But you never let up. Be relentless. And then of course you can create that future value. So if somebody's 6 months away, you want to make sure that you're instilling that trust, value propositions, and then let them know, hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to save you money in the future, or at least get you great coverage, or both. Or if I can't, I'll point you in the direction of somebody who can. That's value to that person's life. So these are things you can do to help in a role play exercise. So, Donna. So action plans. How can we do things? We've kind of talked about a lot of this stuff. It's a lot of repetitive, but it's going to be that way when you get leads. If you're getting 3 leads a day, if you're getting 30 leads a day, it's going to be the same thing. Respond faster. Use the scripts that you're creating or you're designing. Have that follow-up discipline. It may feel weird. It may feel like you're spinning your wheels sometimes, but the work you do today turns into the sales tomorrow. That's kind of the the ebb and flow of it, you know. We might have a day where you make 3 or 4 great sales, and then you realize, man, I've only taken 3 or 4 phone calls today. Like yesterday, I made 100 dials, nothing happened. Today, it's all happening. So follow up discipline, stick with it, trust the process, make a plan, stick with it. Of course, track your numbers. That's important. You'll know what's working, what's not. And then if you focus on that trust, that's a perfect foundation to build on. So, yeah, commit to improving one area this week and then measure it and then do the next topic 2 weeks from now. Just an advice. You can take it or leave it, but it's a good way to kind of start getting something going today, tomorrow, next week. But yeah.
And just going back to where you're talking about, Mike, about tracking your numbers, that's really important for you to hold the lead vendor accountable as well too, as much as we hold you guys accountable to that you're going to work your leads correctly. So, for example, I have an agent on the lead program who we have a conference with every Thursday. We go over every lead type they have, and they have like more than 10, and then we make adjustments. So we increase them, we decrease them. Some of them, since we've made those adjustments, are their CPA is lower than 100 on a specific lead type, and then we'll increase that volume. So hold us accountable, work with us as well too. Track your numbers so we can do account reviews and help you optimize your account. And that's one thing that I've noticed from our elite agents who purchase a lot of leads from us, really track their numbers, and we do account reviews with them that help them significantly in their conversion rate. So,
Yeah. I mean, point blank, we at Quote Wizard want you to do well. If you do well with our leads and we can help you, you're going to spend more money with us and buy more leads with us. It's how it goes. If we send you bad leads and they don't work, I don't expect you to be a customer for long. You know what I'm saying? Like it's helpful for us to help you. But
yeah.
Go ahead on to the next one, Donna, please. So at this point, we're going to kind of open up for some questions. I know a few have come through in the chat. I haven't seen exactly, but Gina will help me get caught up on some of those. But before you leave today, I want to ask yourselves, like, what am I going to start doing in my agency immediately? And what habit will I improve this week? And is there something I can automate? There's something I can go along with that. Question here, what is the policy process for scrubbing the leads before being sent to the end user? Quote Wizards does do a scrub of the leads to ensure that it is a real phone number or real email. Typically, if something comes through with like a Mickey Mouse or a Batman or a 555 phone number with all fives across, it should be funneled out. In the event that we do send it to you and you get a lead that is a disconnected number, or it's not somebody on the other end, or they're just not interested, you have 10 days to get a credit or refund on that lead. We're pretty good about that. We expect a few of those to come through. Yeah.
I'm gonna hop in here because we had some questions earlier, so I want to make sure we get to those before all of the great new questions come in, which I love.
Okay,
Please
cool.
keep them coming. I'm collecting them, I promise everybody. I just want to make sure people asking in the beginning. Someone asked about webinars for Medicare that's turning 65. I just wanted to call out that we do not have that currently, but that is something that we're working on right now. So any health agents out there, if you have specific resources you want from us, email me. Let me know because we're working on it. Okay. What about triple or double dialing?
Is that mean
That's
in
a
the same
question.
day?
Yeah, in the
You
same
can
day.
you can do that. I would do that. I think you can find more success with that. I would call them, and if you can't get a hold of them, leave them a voicemail, send them a text. Within 15 minutes, again, I would call them again. I wouldn't leave a voicemail, and then maybe after 2 hours, 3 hours, give them another call. You already texted them, you left a voicemail, so you don't need to do that twice, but you can do that the next day.
I would be a little hesitant. I know Ram, I'm going to call you out. Thank you so much for saying he triple dials and it works for him. These are really
Just one thing to add. A lot of people call and it may say potential spam on the phone, and then they don't leave a message. So I'm not even going to try to call that back or dignify that. If you leave a message and say who you are and what you're calling about, even if it says spam, I'm going to call you back. So that's a personal thing with my attitudes, my behaviors. But yeah, just something like that. Leave a message. That's my point.
yeah. Okay. People want to know about, is there a bidding system for leads? I know the questions, they're kind of all over the place and I kind of love it. So
So for calls, it's based off a bidding system. For leads, there's set prices that are on there. But calls are very competitive. It depends on your state. We have our base price and then we have our bid price. So it's just going to depend on your state where you're at. And that always fluctuates. I like to work with my agents where if their bid price, they're getting good volume. I'm like, hey, John, you know what? You're capping consistently. Let's see if I can save you money if you can drop it down by a couple bucks, $5, and see if you're still going to get volume. But data leads are just set prices.
next one is CRMs. Do you guys have any CRMs that you?
It sounds like Ricochet has taken over the world. You guys have heard the name thrown around, Ricochet Blue. There was talk about that being built out for you guys. Obviously, a lot of Lead Manager is going out. Those are the two I probably deal with on the most common. But I mean, there's a
I think
hundred of them out there.
I think it really depends on what agency you're at. And if you have a question with that, please contact us and we can kind of tell you which CRM would be best beneficial to you depending on your agency. But I highly recommend using a CRM, especially if you're getting quite a bit of leads. It's going to make your office is going to be happier and you're going to be more efficient.
Yeah.
And we do have a list online of all the CRMs that we're currently aligned with. But yeah, we know they're so important. And if there's new ones that you really like and you want to use, yeah, please let us know. We want to work with them and support you guys.
Yeah, good question. I guess to rattle off the four, if you have never used a CRM and you don't even know what's out there, I would say look up Ricochet, look up Agency Zoom, Agent MVP, and then Lead Manager.
And I would
Be a
say
good starting point.
chat too. People are calling out they put it to just to me. Little Giant recommended.
Ah,
I haven't heard of that one, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll write that down.
yeah. Like I said, there's 100 out there, so little giants out there. I mean,
Yeah.
sample size, I would just say keep going, keep at it. Again, have a plan, stick to the plan, because eventually you're going to start getting these wins. But once the processes are in place, it sounds like you've got fast internet, and you've got speed to contact, so that's helpful. Maybe try mixing up the order of email, like hit them with a call right away and then text them, and then save the email for like 2 hours later, or vice versa. Just try to change up the cadence of whatever you're doing and see if any traction happens that way. That would be my advice to that.
I'd also suggest maybe switching up the lead types and see if there's anything else that we can provide you that you might find more success in. And that's one of the things as well too. That's why I always tell agents when you do sign up, please reach out to us if you have any issues. Contact us so we can do an account review. We can look it over and make different suggestions that are going to help you out. It's going to take a little bit for an agent to be successful. Sometimes it takes a month, 2 months. But to make those adjustments as you go to find that niche for your office is going to help out significantly. Every office is a little differently, right? One thing might work for another, might not work for you. One lead type that works for some agent might not work for you. So reach out to us because we have a lot of different lead channels that we can recreate and build for you guys to customize for your office. So I'd highly recommend that.
We have a question about real time and how that kind of works. Let's say your office hours are 9 to 5 and you start at 9 and you get all of your leads at once. Is that real time or how do the leads work in that way?
Yeah, for the most part, those have all been generated this morning of. If during the hours of operation we are generating leads, that's when we'll send them to you. For example, in that case, if you set your schedule for 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., any of those 8 a.m., 9 a.m. leads that come through, you probably won't get. That somebody else who has a more open schedule will get those. So that's where they'll kind of dump in all at once in the morning, or if you turn it on after lunch or something, you can get those in kind of a flurry, and then they should trickle in through the day. But once you get the territory, a big enough territory and a open schedule, you should see those leads flow pretty smoothly.
Also, I'll add to that as well too, Mike. If you're getting leads fast, because might have big territory, filters are a little bit less, so there's more of that lead type. You can create different channels where you can have different times they come in. So, for example, if you want 30 leads a day, you can do 10 leads between the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So you're not inundated with a whole bunch of leads right away. Then from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, you can do another 10. And then from, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, you can do another 10. So then at that point, you're working them correctly and consistently because then you're reaching out to them right away. Like I said, number one killer for lead is for not being successful and why agents fail is lead response time. So we can build that for you and you can have them trickle in a little bit slower if you want.
I see two that are really quick and I'm going to answer. Do we do life leads? Yes, we do. I'll put the number. And then do we have a max number for leads to be shared?
They go out to a maximum of 4 agents. So if you're a State Farm agent, you're the only State Farm agent that's going to get that lead. If you're an Allstate agent, you're the only Allstate agent that's going to get it, but it's going to go out to a maximum of 4 agents.
And I know we just did the analysis. On average, it's 2. So max 4, on average, each lead goes to 2 agents. I also saw a really
Yeah, next screen, I think, Donna.
Yeah, let me go to the next screen. So me and Mike are part of the Elite division. So what you get is more of a premium service for our agents who are taking higher volume. You get dedicated account reps, you get lifetime promotional pricing, flexible lead scheduling, and help you optimize your account. So for example, you get, like I said, the dedicated account. We do quarterly account reviews. And one of the things too on the Elite program, since you're going to be taking higher volume, is we can manipulate the prices a little bit compared to our standard pricing, just because you're taking at a higher volume. And I don't know, Mike, if you want to add on to that.
Yeah, at Quote Wizard, we kind of do it by region, so it'll depend on what state you're in, who can help you, and we'll get you paired to the right person. And then also just the threshold. If you have an agency where you're buying leads, maybe you're a one-man show, a one-woman show, and you're looking for 3 or 4 leads a day, we want to help you and have a great experience. The Elite program, the threshold to kind of be elite or above is $3,000 a month or more. So for calls that may be 3 or 4 calls a day. If somebody's wanting leads, it's probably 20, 25 leads a day, just to give you an idea kind of what we're talking about. But it goes up from there. We can work with any agents at any budget, but the perks of the Elite program kick in after that $3,000 per month, spend.
And I'd like to add that most Elite agents just don't stay with us for a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's more of a relationship that we want to build with the agent and help them grow and find a lead vendor that they can work with for a long time. So most of the agents who are on Elite will stay with us for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. They'll continue using us because we work with them hand in hand, and you get the account managers, the pricing that helps them out as well.
call in and check, and know specifically where your counterparts are performing. And then that can give you a lot of the answers that you're looking for. I know a lot of it just comes back to tracking. I saw a great call out. Someone said 90 days. 90 days is the recommended amount to get accurate data to make sure.
Yeah, I signed up for leads. I've been on it for 4 days. Nothing's working. That. Maybe not yet. Just keep going. Again, trust the process. It does help to run it for 2 or 3 months, and then you'll know, okay, this is the new normal. This is what it looks like. Okay, we can work with this.
We haven't, and I don't think we got to this one yet either. What should we say when Google Assist asks reason for calling in regards to saying go with sales?
This is John from Allstate. Give me a call back. This is Mike from Farmers. Just want to talk to you about a quote, something like that. Just quick, to the point. They know who you are. I saw somebody was saying they don't leave voicemails. That's totally your prerogative. If it doesn't work for you, I get it. But I think you will see a difference if you just take the 5 to 10 seconds, tell them your name, tell them why you're calling, and a phone number. You don't even have to give a big explanation. Just, hey, this is Mike from Quote Wizard. Give me a call back when I talked about leads. Click. That's it. I think that would be different than no voicemail at all. You'll see a difference or an improvement. Cool. Thank you, Tiffany. Good.
Yeah, and I like people saying they don't do the voicemail, but they do leave a text. So I was like, hey, if you kind of have to test it out, and see.
Yeah, the text is really convenient. Like I said, someone might be at with family, they might be working. If you're taking leads from 9 to 5, they might be at work and they can't pick up. But what they can do is everyone has their phones with them all day, right? They can shoot a text back and be like, hey, give me a call back after 5. I'm going to be off work. And that's when you reach out to them. So a lot of agents don't take evening leads. And that's something that I want you guys to think about is most of our successful agents are taking leads 24 hours, or they're taking them from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Evening leads are great. You just have to know how to work them and when to work them. But those are the ones that will give you a call back if you text them, especially if they're at work, they're busy.
Customizing the filters, or can only reps do that? It's a good, okay, that'll be our last one.
You would have to reach out to us. It just depends.
Yeah, we have corporate agreements. That the answer to your question is sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. So we want to honor that and make sure that we're in the right. So we'll do a side chat on that.
To help you check out your account. So email, call. They're awesome. So
very good. Well, we'll sign off here. Thank you guys so much for your time. Everybody that attended. This is a great group. Thank you, Gina, for arranging this.
yeah, thanks. Okay, everyone have a great Wednesday.
Take care, guys.
Bye.